I know you're somewhere, I'm trapped in.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Lion's Den, and on today's menu we have Yoongi and Yoongi's health. So I woke up this morning and I'm like, I feel like I need to do a reading on Yoongi. I've been feeling like I needed to do a reading on Yoongi. I'm like, check on him, check on his mental health. So I got out my oracle decks. I got out my tarot and I set everything up. I just came up with this kind of, spread just on the spot. So right here, all the top row are oracle cards. A lot of cards came out for Yoongi. So right here, we're going to talk about, well, before I get started, I'm going to say someone had requested a few videos back for me to do a health checkup basically on the BTS members and see how they're doing. So I'm going to do that for the month of December. It's going to be kind of how their health is for the month of December and probably very early January. So this is where we're starting. And I think I'm going to actually start with the tarot first, and then I'm going to go into the oracles, because the tarot is going to explain his situation currently, and then the oracle cards are actually going to go into advice for him. Alrighty. These right here are going to be advice for how he can take care of himself. This is advice for him to how is he going to continue to walk more gracefully in his lifestyle, in his life as an idol, things for him to carry himself with more grace, because it's the Grace Oracle card, Oracle decks. This is advice from Archangel Gabriel. And then this is Romance Angels deck. You guys seen this one. Just any love advice if he's in a relationship. If not, it can be loving yourself. Here are some advice cards that came out for him there. Now, starting with the tarot, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. We have the moon in reverse. Now, with the moon in reverse, this is telling me that there's something, well, let me put it this. Whatever is done in the dark will always come to light, well, in most cases. And there's something that is plaguing Yoongi's mind, because my question was basically how is Yoongi's mental state? How is he doing mentally, physically? But this is talking about what's plaguing him mentally. It's been so strong, and it's something he's done that he's not very proud of. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it's something that is not necessarily a positive thing. It's something that is definitely plaguing his mind. He's very worried and concerned about this thing that he's done. He doesn't want to be exposed, and at the same time, he's aware that he's done it, and he's kind of trying to pretend like it didn't happen. Okay, so when it's upright, it's usually it is a state of delusions and you're lying to yourself. But reverse, it's kind of a more intense, because he's aware that he's done something wrong, and he's aware that he's not just lying to himself, but he's pretending more of that whatever the problem is, it doesn't exist. So then we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse, and so this is telling me Yoongi his life right now is not balanced. He's not evening out his attention where it should be, whether it's to himself, his friends, his family, and work. And of course, that's hard, being an idol and being one of the biggest boy band groups in the world, the biggest boy band group in the world. So right now, it's saying that he's very off balance with that kind of family, work life, loving yourself, taking care of yourself. It's all kind of going crazy right now. It's also showing me that his finances are not stable. It's like one moment he's up, another moment he's down, like he's probably spending too much here and there, and it's very reckless behavior going on financially. I have the Five of Swords, not five. I have the Seven of Swords reversed. This card is telling me there again, there is something that Yoongi has done that's very much plaguing him. And it's like a betrayal. Like he did something that could be potentially very mean or cruel, or he may have said something that he knows was wrong. It could be to the public or socially. It could be that he placed his money on something that probably stood up for something that's not what he necessarily believes in or knows that he shouldn't be speaking about. Because, Yoongi is kind of very, he's the type of person that is sort of low-key, socially, how they say, a social justice warrior. But this is saying that the Seven of Swords in reverse is kind of saying that whatever he did is kind of it's negative. It's not something that is a good thing. Whatever he said was not something that was a good thing, but he's done something and it's probably going to have a very bad effect. I don't know if this is going to be something that's going to be public. I'm feeling like maybe like something like you'll probably see something on Mona or something like on Twitter, and it's just like, oh, well, Yoongi has said something like has said this, or Yoongi has done this, or, we see that he's signed up for something and this is a bad program. That's the kind of feeling that I get from it. It could be also something that's very internal or within the group, where he may have said something that he's very much regretting, that he knows he may have been wrong for. But I'm not saying that there actually is fighting with Yoongi or him saying something mean to one of the members, but it's a possibility. Okay, so the last card we have is kind of the Hangman. Again, the Hangman, especially lined up with all of these, the Hangman here is here to say and talk about whatever it is that he's done or said. He knows that it's kind of too late to really take it back. He can't take it back. He can't do anything about it but wait to see the outcome of his actions. So whatever Yoongi has said or done, it is something that is plaguing him. It is something that he seems to regret, but at the same time is trying to pretend like it didn't happen. And Yoongi is kind of like a tsundere, and he likes to sort of, you guys know how, example, when Tae says like Yoongi will do something nice and pretend like, he didn't really do it. I'm feeling like he's doing that in the same sense of doing something not nice or doing something mean and kind of pretending like, well, I'm always like this. I'm always mean. I'm always hard. I'm always sort of closed off. So you should kind of expect this by now. So with the Hangman, it's kind of saying whatever decision that Yoongi has made that's actually troubling him, he's not really going to make any decisions to sort of change it. He's at this point, it's nothing that he can do but wait and see the outcome. Okay, so we're going to start with the Oracle cards. Now these are, like I said earlier, these are my self-care cards. And so how Yoongi can take care of himself. Let's see. The advice cards that come out here are goals. So goals says, set a goal, write it down, and release the outcome. Small steps make a big difference. Now, with goals and self-caring is, I think it's a way of saying, take things one step at a time. Yoongi is a type of person, he's a manifester. He has the gift to manifest whatever he speaks. So he has to use his words carefully. That is a gift of his. That is a spiritual gift of his. And goals, if you've noticed, anytime Yoongi has said that he wants, the next goal is, Billboard. The next goal is Billboard performance. The next goal is the AMAs, and things like that, it will come true. because his gift is to manifest. Now, at this time, I feel like the self-care cards are basically with goals saying kind of slow down a little bit. You've taken on a lot already. Small steps will take you further. Okay, so I think he needs to work on really think about what his next goals will be, and also take into account how hard he's going to have to work for that goal. So next is playfulness. And playfulness comes out, and again, this is how to care for himself. So playfulness is saying to me that he needs to sort of let loose more. He needs to let loose. He needs to take time out for himself to break away from probably making so much music and or trying to make so much music or working, and find some time for him to play, to relax. Even with play, within play you see sleeping. Okay? So even if that's how he's going to play, by literally just going to sleep, then he needs to do that. And Yoongi sleeps a lot, but he's going to need more. Creativity. Now, creativity is actually talking about, to me, I feel like for Yoongi is to find his creativeness within other things. Yoongi, I remember, was speaking one time about saying that he's very worried about the music that he's going to be putting out now, because the standards have now grown for them, and that he doesn't know if his music will still be good enough. See, creativity comes out, and I really feel like that Spirit is trying to say that he needs to find different ways to stir up creative flow for him to continue to make good music. Not that he won't continue to make good music, but saying that there are other ways that will spark that kind of that will kind of get rid of that more music, that artist block, and make him be able to make even better music. He's going to and that probably goes right hand in hand with playfulness. Okay? He needs to get back. He needs to start playing and get active, and he'll find a new spark of creativity. What's also interesting is on the back of this, right? It talks about playing with children, going and spending time with children. And what I feel like for Yoongi, I feel like if you think about BTS's music, right? A lot of it is talking about youth, and a lot of it is coming from the angle of youth and not wanting to grow old, but having to accept that. And I feel like these two cards to me are saying that he needs to go back to those times and think about being young again and thinking about what that means. And he may be able to find some more creative musical treasure back there. Okay. Wisdom. Oh, nudity. Sorry. Wisdom. Okay. So behind wisdom says, let go the need to control. Trust in the wisdom of a divine plan. Now, this card is interesting, and you'll see why as I get to the rest of the oracle cards that came out for his reading. Okay. This card that I'm not going to show because it has nudity. This card kind of to me is also speaking about how Yoongi is often wiser than he's just a lot wiser than I think maybe most people know. And he needs to trust that. He may be doubting himself right now, like currently he may be doubting himself. And the wisdom card and telling him to let go is probably telling him that he needs to let go of having all of that control over his decision making and all the choices that he's been making. Sometimes you have to let things kind of flow like water and go the way it's supposed to go, and actually not have control over these things. And so we're going to move on to grace. How Yoongi should carry himself gracefully for the month of December. So we have imagination. Imagination. Oh, that kind of goes right hand in hand with creativity, right? It says life's difficulties are a call. Life difficulties are a call to consciousness, a grace-inspired event that challenges us to reach beyond limited thinking. So if we go back to, again, wisdom, right? And then on the back of wisdom is letting go. And then here it's just saying, it's talking about imagination and limited thinking. Again, playfulness. Spending time with children. I'm sorry, I can't speak right now. Youth. Imagination is something that is most creative and most wonderful when you're younger, right? When you don't really have to follow all the rules of adulthood, right? So I think imagination comes here for him to carry himself more gracefully this year in his work and his movements and everything that he does. He's going to have to broaden his imagination, and that may even include going back to his roots. Okay, so next card is faith. So faith is saying that have faith. Every event we experience and every person we meet has been put in our path for a reason. All right, but faith to me is saying Yoongi needs to continue to do not necessarily the same way, but to continue to do what he's doing and have faith that he will continue to succeed no matter what. He needs to have faith in himself, and he needs to have faith in the ones that walk with him. That's spiritually and physically. Okay, so now we have illumination. Believe in the power of grace. When we least expect it, a new door will open. The light of grace will illuminate our next step. Okay, so again, this goes right in hand with this card, doesn't it? Small steps, right, make a big difference. So I feel like this card is saying that Yoongi needs to take his time. Yoongi needs to take his time and really think about what path that he wants to go and what his actual next goal will be. And that path will lighten up for him. So as long as he doesn't be rash and reckless and charge into things like a bull, he will get the creative spark, the next step, everything that he needs will come to him. Because Spirit has already opened the door for him. That door has already been opened. He has a clear connection with Spirit. But everybody has a blockage sometimes. So then we have comfort, right? So comfort says, lean back in the arm of grace, let go and let God. This to me, again, kind of speaks about Yoongi having a sort of control issue. Yoongi feels like he must be hands-on with everything. Yoongi has to know who, what, where, when, and how. I think the comfort card is saying that he needs to take the time and enjoy being in the safe care and safe hands and comfort of someone else handling things and be okay with that. I think that that's what this says. It says that Yoongi needs to be able to, like an example. This is just an example. RM already takes care of a lot of things anyway. But an example of comfort to me in this situation is saying that it can say that Yoongi needs to be able to comfortably rest on Namjoon's leg while Namjoon makes the music, while Namjoon does, everything that he does. Namjoon already does this. But again, like I said, it's an example. So if he has a creative team, or if somebody else decides they're going to write, somebody else decides that they're going to write the whole album, or, compose the music, the comfort card to me is saying that he may need to relax and let them do what they need to do. because with all of the work that BTS as a whole has been doing, Yoongi is overworked and he probably does not need to be so hands-on everything. So he needs to learn how to relax and let somebody else handle the music and handle everything else, at least once in a while. So, advice from Archangel Gabriel. Time management. So to me, time management again is talking about how Yoongi needs to take time out and spend with himself. Yoongi needs to take time out and have fun and to revisit his youth. Yoongi needs to take the time out and actually cater to himself. That's very important because BTS doesn't really have that much time to themselves. So it's very important that when he gets that time that he caters to himself. So I think that's what Archangel Gabriel was saying, as well as gratitude. Gratitude says, you attract more blessings when you appreciate your current blessings. To me, again, this kind of goes into taking small steps and also being very grateful for those small steps, being very grateful for the things that you have. Now, again, I'm not saying, just to make sure, because some people are very sensitive, that he is not grateful. But this is just cards that came out from Archangel Gabriel, and these are the cards and advice given for Yoongi. Gratitude. Be happy, because be happy and be thankful because Spirit is working very hard for them. Like I said, Yoongi is a manifester. He has the power to manifest everything that he wants. And these are big things that he manifests a lot. So he must be grateful. The last card from Archangel Gabriel says deserving. So be grateful. You are deserving of everything that you have. Okay? So Yoongi shouldn't beat himself up over anything. Like if he feels like maybe I don't deserve all of this. Maybe, this is too much. That he shouldn't think that, because he is very well deserving of everything that he's earned and everything that he's achieved because he's worked hard for it. And that's the last card from the Archangel Gabriel deck. So the Romance Angel deck. These are the last oracle cards that I have here. And so this is not saying that Yoongi is in a relationship, but I don't know. But if there was any love advice that could be given to him, I asked, what would it be? Letting go of control issues. Now remember, with this romance deck, it could be relationship with another person, also non-romantic, platonic, and it could be relationship with himself or people around him. Okay, just general love. It can be any of those, but something that has been very reoccurring in all of Yoongi's cards is letting go of control issues. He has to learn to let other people take the wheel sometimes. It says allow the situation to unfold naturally. I think this also speaks on what the tarot were saying. And I'm about to run out of time. But I think the tarot was saying that whatever he has done, that he can't do anything about it at this point. So he does need to learn to let it go and see what happens next. And he can learn from that. So speeding up this last one is separation. Okay, it says time apart from your partner is on the horizon. And this could be time apart from the group or time apart from other things. But this, I feel like, speaks again that Yoongi needs to take that time and spend with himself because he's tired. He needs to rest. And he needs to learn to let other people actually manage things for him, at least for a while. Anyways, thank you guys for watching and tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I'll probably try to do one for every, I'm going to try to do one for every single member and get them out as soon as possible. But until next time, guys.